so we can give you all an update on this, because besides putting the front spindle together up here, we're about ready to hang the engine in here, figure out where all that's going to sit. I actually bought a Richmond Super T10 just to bolt up so we could mock everything into the car, and that'll kind of tell us where our down bars coming to the front frame rails and everything are going to go to complete the roll cage in it. And then I've got all the parts to finish up the front, so this will come together pretty quick once we get the other box, because I cannot just put the T10 behind that engine. It will go bye-bye quickly. But either way, that'll give us the ability to mock it all up and get a drive shaft ordered and get some wiring and whatnot in it. Obviously, this is the Crusher engine knockoff that we built that'll be going in the Falcon here pretty quick. And it just made, what did it make, Mustang? 675, I believe. And it ran out of air at the top end. You may see some of that in a video coming up. I wish that I had gotten at least 750s, or even like 900s or 1000 Dominators would be cool. But even these, for the kit of these boost referenced 4150s, I got these for a steal. I think I still paid $900 for both of them, but they're like $1,100 a piece. So I could sacrifice a couple of CFM. But it would got to a point in the curve in the graph where once it hit 675, it was just done. And it was still making RPM. It wasn't turning over yet, but I think we ran out of air on that one. So down the road, bigger carbs. While we were out, that was West Tex in Miraloma. We went from Miraloma up to San Jose and picked up this car, which, sorry for the mess, we're kind of pulling apart right now. But picked up, this is a 71 Mach 1 Mustang from our buddy Sam Stoles. And and you'll see in a different video, his father's 67 convertible Camaro that we're going to do a little build up on. So right now, got this thing torn down, kind of did an autopsy on it. They said that they thought that it had an intake manifold leak while, it's one of the reasons why they parked it. So pulled off the intake, checked all the rockers, obviously, wanted to make sure everything was tight. There was no evidence of worn cam lobes or anything. Inside of it, it definitely could have used a little bit more regular oil change interval. But other than that, we're going to clean it up, just get it running with a carb on it, and check for compression and oil pressure. So this should go back together probably tomorrow, to be honest. So you've got our wonderful bright blue, Ford blue intake back on there. This is what makes this car good. Anything that comes with a factory 4-speed is just dang cool. And this interior, this is why people like Cali cars. This interior is pretty damn mint. I wish I could show in a video a little hidden safety feature this has got on it, but then it kind of ruins the point of that. Anyway, I think with this project, Mr. Sam, because of what this car is, being a 4-speed and all original, we're going to keep this one pretty bone stock. We may go to a sniper system or something like that just to make it a little bit more streetable. But the Camaro, on the other hand, is going to get a full build up. They want to go really crazy with that one. So this is going to be kind of just a get it running, get it back on the road car, but I'm excited about it. This is in the shop, and we've kind of got things moved out and about. It's not as packed as it normally is in here, but we're going to change that tomorrow. We've got another gem out here that we just picked up. Okay, as y'all can see by this super cool and mildly dented back bumper on these, this is a 63 International Scout. I have had my eye on this specific Scout for years. It lived in a barn out towards Jonesboro area, which is kind of near us, at a client's place that we've been doing some chem-app for I don't know, shit, probably 5 years is the last I remember seeing this thing first. But It is really rare to find a Scout that is in this good a condition. It is really rust-free, which these things were absolutely famous for struggling with cancer. And I don't think that this has got a speck of rust even through the floor pans or anything on it. They take really good care of it. And it had been in a barn since, I think the last time it was registered was 1995. And so they may have driven it around the ranch a little bit here and there. Obviously it's been repainted once. It was originally this teal or green. It's on the inside, but they went back with red, but I've never seen one that was in this good a shape. The only thing that is not bone stock on it is the roof rack that they added, and then they did like a flat towing bar up front. But if it wasn't raining outside on us today, our game plan was to give it a Comet wash and maybe a little linseed oil and kind of pop it back to life. This has got one of the absolute coolest things. This is the 152 cubic inch straight 4-cylinder that they put in these, which is literally just half of the International 304. And so it takes all of the rods and pistons and rotating assembly parts from the V8 version. So super utilitarian. It is a 3-speed. Obviously the transfer case, I think it's a Spicer transfer case. This is a cool little touch. I'm going to try to see if I can open this hood up. Oh yeah, right here. I don't know where this goes. So, me at the, not proud of myself for admitting this, but I had never seen an air filter like this before. So when I went to open this up the first time the other day, it blew me away. It is literally an oil-filled, air filter. And so it's got like a metal screen kind of inside this top hat box, and then you put oil in here, and it makes the air divert and flow over the top of that oil, and then you just change the oil in your air filter every once in a while. But it did lend this thing to being like super clean underneath. You never see something that's got a completely free carb linkage. It's got a little single barrel Holley on it. But either way, having oil right there on top of the engine all the time ended up being a net positive. So that's a cool factory thing. I believe that most of the time you're going to see an oil-filled air filter is going to be on like old things like an International, or Javier was over here the other day was telling us that he's got an old diesel generator that had an air filter like that on it. So I think it was kind of more farm implements and tractors and things like that. That was news to me. So there's a little tidbit of trivia for you. We've got to throw a new starter on this. The starter was definitely bad. And if it wasn't raining on us, like I said, we might even try and give that a shot today. But Sud's master and master for the clutch and master for the brakes. Go through the brake system, probably put new gas tanks in it. It's got dual gas tanks. And then, hell, before that we even get to that point, I'm just going to run this thing on brake clean. But I bet you, knowing its history, that this thing should fire right up for us and be reliable. The family that we got it from, their father, who, God rest his soul, recently passed away, was the original owner of this. And so it's been almost the same place. I think they originally bought it in southern Louisiana and then drove it up here and has been on their farm ever since, just used for scout things, light duty farm work. And so I don't think it's going to be very ragged. From what I can tell on it, it's pretty damn clean. I think it may, because of the oil air filter, is why it looks so dirty underneath here now. I need to power wash it, but it has just got oil built up absolutely everywhere, which would make sense if you've got that sitting on top of your engine. But, oh, here's a little detail. This will make some good audio. This is my absolute favorite part of the Scout thus far. This had Kyle absolutely rolling the other day. It's about to be pretty loud. get ready for some vintage audio here. It's got a bunch of really cool features on it though. Like this air box, it comes in here, runs through the dash, goes through a heater core over here, kind of like a heat exchanger. And then these like mechanical levers and whatnot that open up if you want to vent inside or if you want to go to, I'm just like airflow into the cabin. Just a bunch of super cool utilitarian shit, man. These things are just made, they basically are just tractors.